また始まりましたけど。
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for all of the trouble and having you in and out so many times. Hopefully, the quality of our stream has improved. Once we have confirmed that everything is all right, we will begin. Okay.
This is today 3 times.
Sorry for all of the trouble and having you. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay.
It does
We're
sound
okay.
good?
Sound is fine. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. So, Kenji, wow. uh, Sometimes technology is our friend and sometimes technology is our enemy. Okay, well, right now, so we are starting again, starting anew. Thank you very much. It looks like we have 7 viewers who have once again joined us. This will be today's official live, so pardon me as I introduce the show once again. Good evening if you're joining us from Asia. Good afternoon if you're joining us from Africa or Europe. And good morning if you are joining us from the Americas. Welcome to Kenji Ojima's YouTube Live International. We are seeing in our live chat that our sound has been corrected. This is fantastic news. Thank you very much for your patience and coming back and joining us. Of course, my name is Robert. I will be your MC and host on today's 1-hour journey of learning. And joining me, as always, world-famous orthodontist, Invisalign master, Dr. Kenji Ojima. Hello again, Kenji.
Hello again, Robert. Thanks a lot for fix, and thanks a lot waiting all the friend and the Greeks. This is a very nice. Sound is good. Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's
Yes.
go.
So we are going to go ahead and get started, but just before we do, there are more and more people joining us every week and more new viewers. So if you are new to our stream, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button to make sure that you receive every single update that we bring to you. And even if you're not new, please hit that like button. By hitting like, you make us more visible to other people who enjoy the same kinds of videos as you do. So please help us be more available to more people by hitting that like and subscribe button. So as usual, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have 2 wonderful cases that Kenji is going to talk through for us. During the case, we will be keeping an eye on the live chat. If you have any comments for Dr. Kenji or for me, if you have any questions, please do not be shy. Put them into the live chat and we will address them as they come up. If your questions are about the current case, great. If your questions are about orthodontics in general, aligner orthodontics in general, if they're about Kenji's amazing hair, about anything, we will do our absolute best to answer them as best we can. So, without any further ado, sorry to keep you all waiting for about a half an hour, but let's get started. Kenji, what is our first case today?
Today, first one is for premolar extraction, and the midline slightly situation is different and very difficult to control for the midline and the smile line and all tooth movement. Okay, let's go to first case. The initial one is a problem is how to correct the midline shift, and we have to control is like this tooth movement. Okay. Sorry, just a little bit move our camera here. Okay, so initially so you can see this patient is a midline is a very big deviation, and both of side high canine, and left side is a crossbite, and the right side crossbite too. It's a very difficult for the situation for the initially. Then so my tube turn initially I have to check is what is correct midline for this patient, and we have to correct for the canting. We have to correct is all crowding teeth. Okay, then this planning for me is for premolar extraction. Initially, my planning is for premolars. Then so that this patient is this is a extraoral photos, you can see is a canting slightly left side is more high, and the midline deviation and the facial midline is not to the same. Then so this patient want to correct is finally good smiling and good biting, and want to correct is close bite, both of sides. This is the initial OPG and the safe. You can see tooth is no problem. So we have to choose which tooth extraction or not. Okay. So the very important thing, all my philosophy, all my treatment planning is face integration clean check. That is very important thing. If only clean check, nobody understood how millimeter the control for the midline and the counting. But you can see very easy. If you can control face integration clean check, your planning is more simple. So initially I try to create my clean check initial time. If more, so the midline shift deviation to the right, the plan 1, and the plan 2 is just a little bit adjustment. We can more intrusion. Sometimes we can control counting based on the facial data. Okay, if you
Right.
doubt, that is very very difficult because you are only using image. Okay, this is my planning for this patient. Upper canine extraction for premolars, first premolars extraction. Then extraction first premolars. Then we want to control canine retraction, and we want to control close bite both of sides. And we want to shift the midline deviation for the upper. And I want to control upper left high canine. This is initially my planning. Upper canine retraction, upper molar
Mm.
control, expansion, the deviation, we have to control the shift. Okay, then we want to more focus tooth movement precisely. This is a precisely tooth movement. So we already know how many meters shift to the midline. We want to control space closing the canine, and we have to collect close by both of sides only using aligners. At this time, very important thing is which tooth is anchorage, which tooth is control teeth. The
Mm.
aligner also done this is what is benefit for the another one is my opinion so that we can segment tooth movement. So for example, initial phase, so this tooth is segment, this tooth control. Then after tooth movement finish, the switching anchorage tooth, switching control tooth. That is a very easy to control, easy to tooth movement,
Mm.
safety tooth movement, and we can do precisely tooth movement like this. So this patient, a specialty like this situation, I use Class II elastic, so that you can see is that this is the bottom cut I order to clean check. The bottom cut placed on the upper canine and the lower first molars, then placed on rectangular attachment. That is mean is upper canine is anch rotation. The lower first molar is anch tipping. Okay, and using Class II elastic like this, then so that keep this the direction that I don't want on the only crown tooth movement. Okay, our approach is very important thing is take a photo with aligners. That is very
Mm.
we have to very important thing because checking my planning and checking my simulation and how reaction the patient teeth. And all the time check precisely aligner and the teeth is fitting is better or not. If
Mm.
not good, cannot tooth movement control. If good, so maybe so you can good tooth movement like this. Okay. Finally, so that this is a final situation for this patient. The shift to the bottom to precision cut. This is the final situation for this patient. The midline deviation is correct, and the canine, so the first molars is the positioning is a class 1 relationship. Okay, the both of sides. This is finally the face is a patient midline is correct, and the dental midline, facial midline is correct, and the smile line is good. And so that this is finally so OPG and the safe. We can good for the root parallelism. This is a comparison initial and final. This is a no root resorption. It's very nice, smiling for this patient.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So this is a fast patient. Then we want to go next case. Initially,
Right.
just a little bit. We no time.
Yes, we are falling behind. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions about this case, please put them into the live chat. We will cover both of our cases back to back, and then we will take all questions about both cases following. Does that sound okay to you, Kenji?
Yes. Okay. The next
Okay.
case is a different one. So this case is a cheap complaint. Is a severe budget and diastema narrow arch. Okay. So I want to collect is how to management for this patient. So that this patient asking to me is one thing is how millimeter retraction anterior teeth because I want to correct for a severe budget. Initially like this situation, okay. And my planning is all the time is a face integration clean check, then how millimeter intrusion, how millimeter alignment is better, so vertical control and the expansion, everything, okay. So my planning is all the time face integration clean check, then how millimeter control. This is my planning. So that this patient is like this midline just deviation. If only using clean check, nobody don't understood how millimeter tooth movement. But you can see clean check and the face is not independent. This is a very important thing, connection. Then so that my planning is if non-extraction approach, upper molar distalization, then premolar distalization, the canine control, finally anterior retraction, then how millimeter retraction, how millimeter vertical control like this patient. Then my planning is this is no extraction because final positioning is good for the smiling and you can see lower incisor vertical control. Then so that we understood only clean check is not enough, but no, now I think let's think about the face, then how millimeter control is better. Then so that this is controlled molar is a 3 millimeter distalized, for the upper side is a 7 millimeter retraction for this patient. And then so that we are correction is a upper anterior teeth. You can see this is a initial, this is the final situation. Then so that we want to get for the good smiling for this patient for my planning time. Okay, then go to the treatment time. And many of the time only enough clean check, but now you can see very important thing. Clean check is not without condyle position, not connection on the cone beam CT, not connection on the lip. That is not enough because of
Right.
this. Okay, so the very important thing if you want to use Invisalign treatment, if you want to use align orthodontic treatment, that is very important thing is that you are orthodontist, you have to think about more expand. Okay, so not only clean check. The clean check is good, but this is just tool. So that we think more expand the joint, muscle, lip, profile, and bone situation, root axis, everything. At this time, we want to use for the cone beam CT more detailing. Okay, then you decide on the treatment goal. Then go to the clean check. You can check on this time more precisely. Okay, that is very important thing for my message. Then after that, how millimeter retraction anterior teeth? You can see 7 millimeter anterior retraction like this, and a 3 millimeter upper molar distalization from my clean check. Okay, you can see molar side is a 3 millimeter distalized, upper side 7 millimeter retraction. Okay, this is initial my planning initially. Okay, then started treatment, attachment on the third aligners, then started to retraction upper molar distalization like this, then using class 2 elastic and the premolar distalization phase. At this time we have to check anchorage loss or not. Then canine retraction phase, we have to check precisely premolar, molar, no, so anchorage loss or not. Then finally, anterior retraction phase. Then we achieved class 1 relationship. Both of side canine and the molars relationship is good. And finally, midline is correct. Then we have to check for the guidance, and we have to check for the anterior guiding. This is the final situation for this patient. And the smiling is good, and the profile is good. Then our team is finished. Okay, this is a distalization initially. Started for the second molar distalization, first molar, premolars, canine. This is the final situation for this patient. Then started to the retention. Okay, so sometimes the distalization is very, very difficult. But if your idea is more simply, please divide any situation. This time, which tooth is control, which tooth is anchorage. Okay, this situation is a molar distalization and premolar distalization. At this time, very important thing is that we have to check anchorage loss or not. Okay, this phase is a premolar distalization completely. Then started to canine retraction. After canine retraction, started to anterior teeth retraction. This is the final situation. Okay, this is our team is normally like this patient is initially like this. So very important thing, which tooth is control time, which tooth is anchorage. Okay, then this phase is anterior teeth is anchorage. I don't want for the any movement, only control for the molar. Sorry, my phone.
You are a very popular person. No worries.
Then started to the canine retraction, anterior retraction. This is the final situation. Okay. So this is a finally. Then the very important thing is check for the OPG and the self. Then we have to check this is molar is good and the parallelism is good and the positioning is good. Then our treatment is finished. Okay. So these two approach is different, but this is the comparison initial and final. You can see the axis anterior teeth is different, is a good smiling, good for the anterior guidance for this patient, end of the tooth movement. Okay, so the align orthodontic is sometimes is very difficult because of which tooth is controlled, which tooth don't move and not understood. But if you planning is simulation on the simulation, very simply one is better to you because sometimes is a simultaneous tooth movement. So on the clean check, you don't understood which tooth is movement, which tooth is controlled, but you can see is a segmental tooth movement. It's more simply more easy to understood. Okay, this is a 2 years retention. End of the tooth movement. Then after 2 years of retention, you can see the canine is a molar side, the midline is correct, all the tooth position is very nice. Then the finally is this is the smiling, still very nice position. Initial, this is the planning DSD. The finally, this is the retention. So if you planning like this situation is sometime extraction, sometime non-extraction. It depends on your planning. Okay. So today is my case is finished. If you have any question, please feel free ask to us. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Well, while everyone thinks about their questions and comments, please let me say that, I personally am missing sports very much in this strange world we live in. And I think a lot about football. I think a lot about soccer. And when I hear you talking about simultaneous movement versus sequential movement and thinking carefully about what is anchorage and what is tooth movement, it makes me think about Barcelona and Real Madrid, some of my favorite teams, Spanish teams, and how you have a bunch of all-star players, but on any given play, one player is the chosen attacker and another player is the support player. They perform the assist, right? So you have all teeth are capable of brilliant movement, but sometimes one tooth needs to assist another tooth in the same way that one football star needs to assist another football star. Okay, well, we have some questions in our chat, Kenji. Let's have a look.
Okay.
We have a question from Dr. Wenhai. Hello, Dr. Wenhai.
Hello.
Dr. Wenhai says, hello, Dr. Kenji. For case 1, why don't you do distalization for the first case since the patient's third molar has been extracted?
Yes, very nice question. When high. So very important thing we have to check is anatomical data. So the initial patient is one chief complaint is a profile, another one is alignment. So if for that patient, case 1 patient, distalized, is a maximum how millimeter distalized based on anatomical data. Okay, if possible, distalization, yes, but a not good profile is not good treatment planning, not good for the result. I all the time to think about is how millimeter retraction is good smiling or not. At this time, how millimeter have to need distalize upper molars. At this time, if bone is enough, but occlusion some of the time, and not too much distal movement is not good for the patient. It depends on the patient size of the face, size of the oral. Everything we have to need think about which is better. Case 2 is very high, taller guy, okay? But the initial patient is very small, very cute for the ladies. So it depends on the capacity, okay? Then if for the we nobody don't want extraction approaching. Yes, me, we too. But how millimeter distalized, then I calculate how millimeter possible retraction anterior teeth. At this time, not good. Still like bimaxillary protrusion. This is a not good orthodontic treatment. Okay. Then so my planning for case 1 is I decide on extraction, but case 2, how millimeter distalize upper molar 3 millimeter, then we can do 7 millimeter anterior teeth retraction. Then I decide on case 2 is no extraction. Okay, it's very important thing. We can do both, but which is better result? Only this.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
Right. And it's as you repeat again and again, having your ClinCheck, check, having one piece of data is not enough to make a full decision about the best patient treatment. You need that anatomical data, all of your different scans, in addition to your ClinCheck, check, in order to make the best decision. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Wenhai. Thank you very much. Okay, once again, we have a couple of regulars who have come to ask questions, people who join us regularly. Our next guest, please, the guest who is posted at 10:21. I cannot read your name, so if you can tell me your name at some point, I would love to use it because you ask questions in every YouTube live. So our question from this wonderful user is, many orthodontists prefer to design overcorrection of anterior teeth in extraction cases to control torque. What do you think about this?
Yeah. Sometimes yes. Sometimes I use for the overcorrection for the torque control. Sometimes I use overcorrection for the anterior teeth intrusion. It depends on your experience. It depends on the technique. So I started Invisalign treatment is since 2006, end of the 2006. At this time, I many cases using overcorrection because I don't trust my ClinCheck simulation because I never know. I don't have many experience. But now I understood how millimeter is important, how millimeter is possible or not. And now maybe 3 or 5 using aligner for additional overcorrection. But specialty to intrusion time. Intrusion time, I use additional overcorrection, 3 or 5 aligner, overcorrection aligner. But normally, another one, I don't use it. It depends on the situation, yes. But if you want, you can use it.
Okay. We have a comment in the live chat that says that this doctor's name is Liu Yi. So pardon me, Dr. Liu Yi, for not being able to read your name. Hopefully this is your name pronounced correctly now. Well, thank you very much, as usual, for your wonderful questions. Let's move on to Let's move on to our next question. This is from Jingying He. Hello, Jingying.
Jingying, hello.
Jinying says, hello, Dr. Kenji. For case number 2, did you do intrusion of the anterior teeth? If so, how did you do it?
Yes, so I as you can see, so for case 2, did you do intrusion of anterior teeth? Yes. You can see is this movie. So the initial one, I want to control just a little bit, okay? This is, you can see, lower side, anterior side, is both of side, intrusion and retraction. You can see intrusion initially, then after that, retraction. Yes, I do. Thank you.
Fantastic. And so how do you do it? How did you do the intrusion? What is your technique?
Technique is my technique for the intrusion for the anterior teeth.
Yes.
Yeah. Intrusion. So I just ordered the intrusion, but the very important thing, the timing, when,
Right.
or how. Okay. So that I will back to my screen check. Please have a look. The upper first anterior incisor 1 and the upper right left first the center incisor 2 I don't place on any attachment, as you can see. So my planning for this patient is a place on the attachment. I'm going to go to the screen check. Okay. So this is the screen check. You can see this one. Initially, I want to, okay. Intrusion here, okay. Intrusion anterior teeth, initial time. Then no place on attachment, initial time. So my philosophy all the time is intrusion, no need place on attachment, any attachment, okay? After intrusion, we want to retraction. At this time, place on the attachment is more effective, okay? Because more aligner fitting is better. At this time, so the 1-1-2-1, just a little bit, how I say, front side. Then so that I don't place on any attachment because the aligner insert time very difficult if placed on 1-1-2-1. Then I select for place on the attachment is a 1-2 and the 2-2. Then so the more fixation for the anterior teeth, anterior part for the aligners. Then control 2-2, 2-1, 1-1, 2-1, 1-2. Okay. Initially, I don't use any place attachment for intrusion time. Then after that, if I place on the 1-1, 2-1 place on attachment, very difficult to insert aligner. Then I choose 1-2, 2-2 place on attachment, and this area more better to fitting for the aligner, then control retraction.
Okay. Very interesting. The timing, depending. So basically, you're constantly thinking about what the best situation for aligner fit is, and then making your decisions about attachment placement and timing based on the best situation for aligner fit. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. And thank you for your question, Jingying. Okay. Now we are going back to a regular. Once again, Tamara Nietzsche has joined us again. Hello, Tamara.
Tamara again, thank you.
Tamara says, great cases. And in case 2, how did your approach to retract the anterior without TADS and without anchorage loss? Okay, so this is an extension of the last question.
So the very important.
Without TADS and without anchorage.
Yeah. So very important thing is think about for the staging, the segmentation, and which tooth is posterior bite force anchorage. So the aligner orthodontics is what is different point for the another device is cover to occlusal aspect. That is very important thing for the aligners. So the another braces, another ringer system is cannot use for the bite force. Okay. So if you want to choose molar distalization time, initially which tooth is we can use bite force or some of the teeth cannot bite force or not. If no, you have to control that tooth initially more hard collision or more hard contact initially, then create a more strongly bite, then started to anchorage, started to control. That is my definitely recommendation. Initially, because scanning, you understood which tooth is bite is good, bite is not good. Okay, if not good tooth, you can order to initial first or second aligner, more strongly contact, then started to distalization or started to the anchorage. That is key of the success, specialty for aligner orthodontic treatment. Without that.
Okay. Well, that's great. Once again, it's there's so much going on in your mind. It's very difficult for us to pick up every single piece of wisdom. But thank you for explaining that in such detail, Kenji. And once again, thank you for your participation and wonderful question, Tamara. Thank you very much.
Robert, so the name
Yes.
Dewey. Dr. Dewey.
Yes. Liu Yi. Yes.
Dewey.
Xie Liu Yi. Thank you for pronouncing that for me. Thank you. Okay, and we have one more question in our live chat from Dr. Leo Abraham Jose. Hello, Leo.
Hello, Leo.
Leo says, hello, Dr. Kenji. With aligners, is upper arch distalization possible without TADS?
Yes.
Plain and simple. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Simple question, simple answer.
So if you, Dr. Rijo, if you have an interesting, please read 2010 published Journal of Clinical Orthodontic JCO article, Invisalign Treatment Class II Collection. This article is a dramatically impact for me, for life, all over the world. This is a Dr. Shoup. He was he is my mentor, my master for specialty Invisalign system. Here is a very nice treatment. Or everybody know he is a very legendary orthodontist in the world. Then I learned from him how to correct the upper molar distalization without any tat. Then I try to do this same procedure, the same approaching. We can do everything. After 8 years later, our team published on JCO with more acceleration approaching. Class 2 situation, non-extraction, upper molar distalization with accelerator. We can do controlled molar distalization without any tat. But sometimes if you want additional tat, it depends, okay?
Okay, thank you very much for your wonderful question. By the way, that article is called Class II Correction with the Invisalign System. It has 3 authors, Werner Schoup, Julia Haubrich, and Iris Newman. It is in the first issue of the year 2010 JCO.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So Kenji, we have 2 more questions. Would you like to take the next 2 questions?
Yes, please. Come on.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Lijo, for your question. Let's move on. We have another question from Wenhai. Hello again, Wenhai.
Wenhai.
Wenhai says, for case 2, how do you level the lower curve of SPI?
Okay, I will show you this one. So very easy to understand. You can see lower anterior teeth intrusion like this, okay, and extrusion premolars. This is my approaching for how to correct for the level of curve of speed. Okay.
Okay, fantastic. And let's race through and try to answer all the questions we have with as little time as we have. Next, we have another question from Dr. Liu Yi, who says, I noticed that you like to design Class II traction on canines rather than on aligners. Why? Why traction on canines rather than on aligners?
Sometimes yes, sometimes yes.
Maybe just in the cases that you share, this
Yes.
is in your case design. Okay. Does this help you control for anterior torque when you do this?
Yes. So very important thing is anterior torque is one of the good result, and very important thing is a retention time. Then we have to check which is axis is the better for this patient. That is very important thing. So not for the same. So then we have to check because the shape is different sometimes. The observation already different. Then we have to check the final position and the toe control, angulation, everything. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Li Yu. And let's take one or two more questions. We'll go about 10 minutes over time to finish today. Our next question is from Dr. Konstantinos. Hello again, Dr. Konstantinos.
Konstantinos.
Says, hello, Dr. Ojima, and hello, Robert. Hello. Do you use a power ridge to improve the root torque in upper anterior sector?
Yes, sometimes.
So sometimes you use the power ridge. Okay. Great. Okay. And our final question is from Dr. CMY. Welcome back, Dr. CMY.
CMY, hello.
Welcome back. Dr. Kenji, from your experience, what is the maximum amount of molar distalization in millimeters that you have achieved with aligners alone?
Many of the doctor question like this. All the time, my answer is it depends on its anatomical data. Okay. We are not for the how I say, not try to distalize it. Okay.
Right.
Yes. If the tooth position is back, it's not good for the patient. It's because it's difficult to brushing, because it's difficult to how I say management, because of too backward stay there in the tooth, nobody not good, right? Then so the better way is which is better position. Only this, not for the how to try to more distalize. It's good. Sometimes we have to think about extraction is good. Sometimes is possible distalize is from anatomical data, and this is very important thing, anterior position. Okay, so you have to check how millimeter distalize is possible or not. But the 3 millimeter is no problem normally. If you want more, you can use any tat or sometimes more strongly bend slider system, and whatever you want, place on the tat more. Which one you can do everything.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and we are getting a flood of questions just as we try to end. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we are going to cut off questions for today right here. Sorry for the 3 people who did not get their questions in on time, but we will try to be better prepared for our next live broadcast. Thank you so much for your patience today while we tried to fix our technical problems, and hopefully we can have all of that fixed before our next go. Hopefully if we save these settings, we'll be fine. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for coming out, being such active participants, helping us grow our channel. Please make sure to hit that like button. The like button helps more people see our videos, and the subscribe button helps you see more videos. We hit 7,000 views this week, Kenji. 7,000 views for our for our YouTube Live International. It's fantastic, and we couldn't do it without you guys. Everyone, please stay safe. Please stay well. Things are changing, but things haven't changed that much. Continue to learn, continue to care, and continue to love. Thank you so much. Kenji, do you have any last words for our audience?
Yes, thanks a lot for watching for our YouTube channel. So that's sorry this time is just a little bit for the problem. But the specialty quickly I answer to you. CISPO is power reach. Sometimes yes, I use it. And the MAPL is if there is occlusal interference in the anterior this guidance we need to. Yes, sometimes yes, if you want using for the refinement it's good. And the MAPL interface we need to sorry.
Fiona.
Dr. Kenji just curious, do you have a certain inside angle that you need in your case? Yes, of course, yes. And Liu, thank you. Shiko, thanks a lot. Okay, finished.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. And that was a nice dash right at the end, Kenji. Always a crowd pleaser. Okay, thanks a lot. And take care, everyone, and we'll see you again at our next YouTube Live International.
Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Like and subscribe.